RHOBH, Dorit Kemsley recounts son's heartbreaking medical scare. RHOBH star, Dorit Kemsley is recounting her son, Jagger's heartbreaking medical scare. She and her husband, P.K. Kemsley, are currently separated, which will be documented in the upcoming season. So, what did the co-parents deal with concerning their son? Keep reading for more details. Dorit Kemsley recounts son's heartbreaking medical scare. This has been a traumatic few years for Dorit Kemsley and her family. They were the victims of a home invasion where she was held at gunpoint. The kids were in their bedroom sleeping and her husband, P.K. Kemsley, was out of town. That left Dorit alone to handle it, and she suffered from PTSD. The robbers were never caught, and then, just a short time later, she was mugged again. She was shopping and had taken out $10,000 cash. Dorit was followed, and the money was stolen from her bag. Despite trying to make PK understand her struggles, he was more frustrated by her. They ended up parting ways after a very rough time. Some have claimed they were not living together longer than they stated. However, they have wanted to keep on a brave face for their kids, Jagger and Phoenix. This will be shown in Season 14 of RHOBH, which premieres on November 19th. That is when the true downfall of their marriage will be displayed for the world to see. As they prepare to watch that play back, Dorit and PK have been dealing with something far more serious. Their son Jagger, 10, was just hospitalized. As it turned out, he had a septic hip. According to Page 6, the fashion designer recounted the heartbreaking event in her Halloween post. Dressed as the Flintstones, she explained that Jagger had 2 surgeries in a week for a septic hip, aka septic arthritis. This can occur when germs get into the bloodstream and infect the joints. He then spent 2 weeks in the hospital as he recovered. Back together. Many people questioned over and over who Fred Flintstone was, and it was P.K. Kemsley. He was tagged in the family photo and even poked fun at the repetitive comment. P.K. needed a laugh as he has been with his family in the hospital. On October 15th, he shared this update about Jagger. Of course, viewers were worried about him as they had seen Jagger since he was a toddler. Now he's a little man. This is horrible, but fortunately, he is healing and was able to celebrate the best way possible. As a mother, Dorit Kemsley is no stranger to dealing with the ups and downs of parenting in the public eye. Her vibrant lifestyle and glamorous presence on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills mask the deeply personal battles she occasionally faces behind the scenes. Recently, Dorit opened up about a frightening incident involving her son, Jagger, which forced her to confront her worst fears. It started as an ordinary day at the Kemsley household. Dorit was juggling her usual responsibilities, managing her fashion line, planning events, and tending to her children. The hustle of her everyday routine was suddenly halted when Jagger, her bright and energetic son, complained of severe discomfort. At first, Dorit brushed it off as perhaps just a stomach ache or the common flu that kids occasionally pick up. But as the day wore on, she noticed that Jagger's energy was different. He wasn't himself, and her maternal instincts began to sense that something was truly wrong. The symptoms began to escalate. Jagger started experiencing intense pain and became unusually lethargic, which was out of character for him. Dorit and her husband, PK, initially thought it might be a virus or something harmless that he could sleep off. But when Jagger's condition didn't improve and he became increasingly pale, Dorit's intuition kicked into high gear. She felt a gnawing sense of dread that this was more than just a passing illness. Something was seriously wrong. They rushed him to the emergency room. Dorit recalls the terror she felt in that waiting room, pacing back and forth, clutching PK's hand while praying for their son's well-being. The sterile smell of antiseptics, the blindingly bright lights of the hospital hallway, and the low hum of hospital monitors filled her senses, making the reality of the situation feel almost surreal. There was nothing she could do but wait, feeling helpless and overcome with worry as Jagger was examined by a team of doctors. The doctors ran a series of tests on Jagger, checking everything from his vital signs to blood work, each test further intensifying the agony of waiting for answers. Dorit described the experience as one of the longest nights of her life. Time felt like it was moving in slow motion, each minute stretching on endlessly. She would glance over at PK, who tried to remain strong for her, but she could see the fear etched into his face. Both of them were clinging to hope, comforting each other with assurances that everything would be fine, even though they didn't know what to expect. Hours later, a doctor entered the room with an update. Dorit felt her heart pounding as she held her breath, bracing herself for whatever news was about to come. The doctor explained that Jagger's symptoms were a result of a severe infection that had spread rapidly, causing intense discomfort and putting a strain on his small body. Dorit was devastated yet relieved to finally have an answer. She could feel tears welling up in her eyes as the reality sank in. Her little boy was seriously ill, but at least they now knew what they were dealing with. The medical team quickly began treatment to stabilize Jagger and control the infection. Dorit and PK stayed by his side, watching over him with a fierce determination to see him through this ordeal. She recalls the hours she spent sitting by his bed, gently brushing his hair back and whispering comforting words as he drifted in and out of sleep. As a mother, Dorit says, there's an indescribable ache that comes with seeing your child in pain, knowing you do anything to take it away, but are powerless to do so. In those moments, Dorit found herself reflecting on the fragility of life and the importance of family. While she's often perceived as a strong, glamorous figure on RHOBH, these moments reminded her of the vulnerability that lies beneath her public persona. The experience was a humbling reminder that no amount of wealth or fame can shield her from the trials of parenthood and the unpredictable nature of life. After a few days in the hospital, Jagger's condition began to improve. The antibiotics started working, and his energy slowly returned. Dorit remembers the immense relief she felt as she watched him start to smile and play again, his spirit rekindling with each passing day. Seeing her son's resilience gave her newfound strength, and she felt a profound gratitude for the small victories of each day. Once Jagger was finally able to come home, Dorit took extra precautions to ensure his continued recovery. She found herself appreciating the small moments with her family more than ever. Each laugh, every hug, and even the little messes around the house felt like blessings. This experience, though traumatic, reinforced her commitment to her family and reminded her of the preciousness of their time together. Since the scare, Dorit has been open about her journey, hoping her story will resonate with other parents who have faced similar experiences. She understands the depth of fear and uncertainty that can come with a medical emergency, especially when it involves a child. Her goal in sharing Jagger's story is to offer support and solidarity, letting other parents know they're not alone in their struggles. The experience also brought Dorit and PK closer as a couple. They had always been a team, but going through this ordeal made them realize just how strong they are together. In a world that sometimes seems obsessed with perfection, Dorit says, it's moments like these that reveal what truly matters. Now back at home with a healthy Jagger, Dorit is grateful for every day. She approaches life with a renewed sense of purpose, focusing on the people who mean the most to her. While she'll continue to dazzle viewers on RHOB8 with her fashion and glamorous life, Dorit's story serves as a powerful reminder that behind the glitz and glamour, she's a mother first. And like any mother, she's willing to do whatever it takes to protect and care for her children, no matter the obstacles.